This week on Jaywalking, I'm joined by two former students. One who I had my first year teaching, and her husband who I actually had 2 decades later as a comedy teacher. And they started an amazing nonprofit called Die Laughing. Check them out at dielaughing.org. We have a real fun conversation, a little dark humor, and how important comedy is, I think, for everybody in this world right now, and the laughs we can all share together. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Like, comment, share, do all the things. All right. Well, I'm excited this week. We have two special guests today. I haven't had two guests before, I don't think. I think this is the first time. So very excited. And, it's former students of mine. Well, one from high school. It's funny because one 21 years ago and one 2 decades later, but they're both married. And I'm so happy to welcome Dan and Chelsea Keota. How you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for having us today.
Yeah,
You
thanks for
really have to stop talking about how long ago it is. I feel so old every time you say that.
It's so funny because I had someone on here who I think had me maybe a few years after you.
Okay.
That's what I was like. It's so funny to think because I must have been in my first year, right?
It literally
brand new.
was the first year.
Yeah,
You
because it
were
was halfway through
straight
the
out
year,
of
right?
college.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you remember? So nervous to ask that.
Really not a lot. I just remember we had our Spanish teacher. She was going out on maternity leave. They were like, you're just going to have to substitute. We're like, oh, okay.
That's right. And then in comes me. Actually, I remember, was that the class where there had been a bad accident? And
We had a couple in high school, yeah.
Yeah,
there was a couple.
I remember there was one where the one
The
kid who
kids-
was
yeah,
was
kids were killed in
driving
it, yeah.
was in our class, and he had survived, but I had to read a note to everybody one of the first days I was there.
Yes,
And
I
it
know.
was
Actually, I know
brutal.
exactly what you're talking about. Actually,
It was
that.
it was such a. There was this bad accident. Somebody had passed away that was really very popular, and that was one of the most nerve-wracking things because I knew everybody in the class knew them, and everybody in the class I think was older too. A lot of them were, I don't know what grade were you?
I was a sophomore, but yeah,
but there were some juniors and
juniors and
seniors, and so that was weird for me because of the age difference. I'm 21 turning 22, and some of the kids are 17, 18. That's not that big of a difference. I had to have facial hair just so that you knew to establish myself. But yeah, those first couple of years, it seems honestly a millennia ago.
Oh, it does, 100%.
I vaguely remember. I have these flashes of what classrooms I was in and the ties I was picking out to wear every day because I wore a tie. For the first 10 years of my career, because I was the Catholic schoolboy in me, I wore a tie every day. But yeah, no, that was so long ago. Mm-hmm. Because you graduated what year?
08.
08, yeah. Okay, yeah, because 05 was my first school year there. That's
Mm-hmm.
correct. And then you graduated from the same school, but you graduated probably before I started, right?
Yeah, I graduated 2002.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because you were stealing from the cradle, right? Is that what-
She was 23.
Yeah, she's
When we
listen, he's
first
he was
started
23. Now, did you guys know each other in high school?
Not
Not because
kind
of high
of.
school.
Technically, yes, but not because of high school.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you knew of each other.
Yes.
And when did you first meet? When did you first,
We started dating in October of 2012.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dad's best friend who lived directly next to us growing up, his son was best friends with Dan growing up.
Oh.
And I was close with our neighbor's younger sister, who was a little bit older than me, but we used to hang out a little bit when we were younger. And
I picked her up at a Halloween party.
at a Halloween party.
Oh,
Yes,
what were you dressed as?
our neighbor, actually.
So that
They used
year,
to
so we had a group of friends that all dressed as each other to troll each other.
That's funny.
So it wasn't just me dressed
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
friend.
no.
well-
Listen, I'm not as creepy as it sounds.
But then she's there to try to date some other guy, and I'm hitting on her as my buddy. I'm
That's funny.
it worked. She hasn't left since.
That's
No.
great. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
No, that's exciting. And then I met you, Dan, because you signed up for the comedy class at Soul Joel's, 2 years ago or so?
Yeah, October 2024, I had my transplant evaluation, which was a month long. So told Chelsea I was going to pulmonary rehab, and I was taking your classes, kind of just to distract myself from that.
Yeah. And what is the formal, what was the formal diagnosis you got?
I have pulmonary sarcoidosis complicated by invasive aspergillus.
That gets me alidocious.
It's even more than that. That's like the brief version of it. But
is it like cancer essentially, or is it
no?
Like,
So it's an autoimmune disease complicated by a fungal infection.
Oh.
So what Temple theorizes
because you're a fun guy. I had to. It was
I
right
guess
there.
so. Yeah. So what Temple theorizes happened is that over years the sarcoidosis was causing scarring in my lungs, like little, and I didn't even really know it. I just thought I was getting fat.
And,
I thought I was out of breath that year.
Were you a smoker or anything?
No,
Actually,
never.
No,
No.
man.
Smoked 2 cigarettes ever, and I got caught, and that was
See,
it.
and I was a heavy smoker growing up.
Dude, my whole family, I like.
whole
sometimes
family
I
has
jig around my
been.
brothers and blame them and be like, "Hey, this is because
Yeah.
we don't know where we got it from."
That's how I feel like I hear that so much with stories like that. Like the people who get it are like, well, they weren't even a smoker. They didn't even tell me. That's terrible. I'm like, listen, I was like, I did not treat my body like a temple, but like, because I quit. It'll be 10 years. August 13th, it'll be 10 years this year since I quit smoking. But like, I was a pack easy a day. Started at like 16.
The crazy thing about the sarcoidosis is I graduated with a class of like 290 some kids.
Yeah.
And there's like 4 or 5 of us that have it. And one of the things they theorize causes sarcoidosis is construction debris. And from 1998 to 2002, there was a major reconstruction.
I remember that because they had the trailer. I wasn't there yet, but I remember hearing
We used to
people.
throw pencils up and they'd get stuck in the ceiling. There'd be like asbestos falling on us and stuff. Because we were eating in the auditorium because the cafeteria.
Yeah, the cafetorium.
Yeah, the cafetorium. Yep.
Yeah, that's wild. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's
like
great.
Teal on our board of Die Laughing. She has it.
Really?
Yeah,
She
that's how
has it,
that's why
yeah.
we're connected because we went to
Oh, my
OJ and we both had the
goodness.
same disease.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. She always comments on Facebook. I love seeing her at the events.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I am just impressed because like when you signed up for the class, like Chelsea didn't know, and like you said, you were just telling her you were going to therapy.
Well, when we first started dating, I used to have this thing I used to do back then where I would take girls to karaoke and try to get them not to go on a second date with me. And she stuck around. She never left.
Yeah, so you tried the trick on her.
Oh yeah, I was
totally.
singing. I was singing the best 2 Live Cruise songs you knew.
It was funny because I listened to a show, like 2 different shows, but one was like Second Date Update where they like
Oh
somebody
yeah,
goes
you
on a
listen to
date.
those all the time.
I
Yeah.
love them. So, but like that one is the reverse. It's like they're
Yeah.
wondering why like, this guy's like actively trying to be like, I
Why
want them
is
to
my
have to call
girlfriend?
this show so that yeah.
Yeah, so like so at the beginning of us dating, I was already going up on stage.
Yeah.
So doing the classes to distract myself from the evaluation.
Yeah.
I had no problem going up on stage.
No, you were
And-
great. I thought it was funny because she didn't know. Like that would not like my wife. Like when I got pulled in here, it's like, oh, wife's been notified you're here. She'll be notified when you leave here. Like my life, like she just like, and a lot of things. We have kids, and with Alicia and stuff like that, it's good for us to know each other. But like, my wife would never have known. So I thought it was really cool that you were able to do that. And then the day of the show, you just sat in the because you guys have been awesome. Like I always see you at comedy shows. You've probably been to more of my shows than anybody I know, and I'm so grateful for that. But it was cool, like, because you always would come to the show, so it was no big deal. The 2 of you are sitting there.
Yeah.
But she had no idea that you were about to go up and perform because we didn't. Yeah, so I thought that whole thing was just fun.
Yeah.
Because we had to keep you off the flyer. We had to do all these things so that it didn't get promoted out. Like that was just such a cool thing that I thought you did, and I was just watching her the whole time. Like as you went, I don't think I watched your set at all because I just.
He sent me a video.
I was
I'm sitting
just
there
watching,
cracking up. I had my sister Nikki next to me, and I'm just cracking up. And he's telling these stories, and Nikki's looking at me, and she's like, "Did this really happen?" I'm like, "Yes, it did. Like this is not a story he's making up. It really happened."
But that's what's so funny. I mean, the funniest stuff is the stuff that's real, and like
Yeah,
and so you
that's
getting up and
happened.
telling the stories was so much fun. So it was like, and it's just you're being vulnerable, and it's like you're building tension, but you're immediately releasing it because you're letting everybody know, like, hey, I'm okay. Like I'm okay. I'm here making these jokes right now. And I think that's the most important. I see comedians, and you guys see it at the open mic sometimes, they build that tension, but they never release it. They don't.
Yeah.
Or the audience does not know how they feel about what they just said or if they're okay.
Yep.
And so it's hard to laugh if you think somebody's in crisis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is this a cry for help, or are you trying to make us laugh and just suck at it? It's hard to tell the difference.
Yeah,
Open
100%.
mics can be wild because like anybody can go up there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
sometimes
you
someone
never
will
know
go
what
up
they're
there,
gonna say.
emotionally charged.
exactly right.
You're like, wow, this ain't funny. This is serious. You know.
Yeah. Well, that happened during the pandemic a lot at Joel's.
Oh, I imagine. Like,
Yeah, I believe it.
Oh my goodness! Like people would get up there, and you're like, this was a cheaper than copay for them, so they just got up here and
Yeah.
But and then you obviously did the class and went well, and then you eventually just started producing shows.
Yeah. So the way that happened is, after we had that show, I decided I didn't want to be a comedian.
The July benefit that we had with you and everything that we ran into over the summer. Yep.
Well, so
After that,
like
you
after the class, I was like, I knew we love comedy, like we love going to all the shows. We always, I think it's important to tell this, like when you go to a comedy show, take people with you, right? Like these people are out there like working hard. Like the way you can help everybody, all your friends build in the field is if not only show up but bring people. That's what we try to do. And but no, like all the anxiety went away. I had a lot of anxiety, and in February I got listed for transplant. 2025.
25, yep.
Well, so my anxiety went away, but 3 months later, at my evaluation, because they gave me a 3 to 6 month estimate for
when you would get one. Okay.
So at the 3 month checkup, all the anxiety came back because I'm like, oh my god, this might be soon. So they were encouraging fundraising.
Yeah.
But
because you have to you're not just paying for that, but you have to pay for all the aftercare stuff.
Yeah,
too,
there's
right?
the transplant.
Because everything you were telling me was a ridiculous amount of money that you would
just
need.
the surgery is like $1.5 to $2.5 million, and then you have all the care afterwards. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it's millions.
The
of
tubing
dollars.
that you're wearing, the little case you have. I mean, all those things that.
And then I mean, you're gonna be in ICU for like 14 days. Just got a surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably.
And insurance how does insurance cover?
Yeah, so that's for me. So
luckily.
Penn was encouraging fundraising at the 3 month mark because all this anxiety came back. But my insurance covers it 100%.
Okay.
We're overinsured. I have my insurance for my work, and she has hers too.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm on both of them, so we're good to go. So we're like, all right, we're just gonna throw this fundraiser, and that's when I was talking to you about it.
Yeah.
And we were just gonna donate the money to Penn on Monday. So we had the party, the show on July 11th. We had that at the Ring Hill Fire Company.
Yep.
I forget exactly how many tickets sold, but we did very well. It was all you can eat, and we had all you can drink.
You did it right. You added all the extra stuff, little basket raffles, 50-50, like all that, not just the comedy, but once you have them there, then you do a silent auctions, all this other stuff, and the food was great.
So we did well, and then Monday we were going to donate the money, and over the weekend all these people were talking to us about the show and talking about doing more shows. So then we got connected with Penn and said, all right, why don't we start a nonprofit? And that's how Die Laughing got born.
I think what an amazing concept to just be like a nonprofit. The name's amazing, Die Laughing. It's just this like dark humor. I was just listening on the ride over here to a podcast where they're interviewing Taylor Tomlinson. Who I don't know if you know. She's a comedian. She just dropped another special. She's got like 4 specials on Netflix by the age of 25. Like she's crazy good. But she's just big in dark humor, and her mom had passed away when she was really young. So she talks a lot about a lot of dark topics, and they were just talking about like the concept of dark comedy and that it's not just a way, some people are using it as a way to say slurs, but really dark comedy is about kind of taking these taboo topics that we're not supposed to. She does a lot with religion and her mom dying, but in this concept of Die Laughing, like that's a quality, that's like a classic like dark joke,
And like it makes it very easy for branding.
Yeah.
We got the laughing skeleton.
Yeah. But I just like it's almost like you just got a metric ton of lemons and you're just like, all right, well, I guess I got to start making lemonade.
Yeah.
And that for me was what I love so much about it, and why when you randomly text me at like 2 a.m, I get right on
so, I do that a lot.
Well, it's like, oh, the edible just kicked in. All right. But like I believe in so much of it. I'm happy to have any small part I can. And so because I love that, I just think that's such a great concept. I mean, my whole life has been built on service, whether it was teaching and coaching and all of that kind of stuff. So I think that's so powerful, and I just also am kind of humbled because I can't imagine going through what you guys have to go through and to adopt humor and laughter. I mean, that's what happened for me during COVID to a degree where I felt like we weren't laughing. My wife and I were very stressed. We had my mom living with us, and my mom's headspace wasn't really good because she was like had moved from Scranton and she was kind of alone and didn't have friends down here, and then COVID happened, and so very kind of like in the bell tower alone a lot. And even though we're all together, we were all kind of at each other's like wits' end. So the only thing we had every week was getting out of the house to go to Soul Joel's for the mic on Tuesdays. Like for Amanda and I, that was like such a big day to get out of the house and just have 4 hours.
Did you go up the first time you went to an
Never,
open mic?
no. I went for months before I went up.
So you went and just watched.
I was just watching like you guys. I was just her and I, because we used to go to comedy like that. That was like when we would fall asleep at night, we'd put a Pandora station on of like our favorite comedian. We used to go to like the Impractical Joker shows. We were watching Impractical Jokers nonstop on TV because we could have it on the family room and the girls were there, and it was just a way to kind of laugh because like if you're not laughing, like there's just this tension in a marriage that can build, and it can build the resentments. It can build so quickly when you're in close quarters together, and it was just very dark. Alicia was having a hard time adjusting. She was like escaping the house for a little while, so we were trying to like take shifts, staying up at night to make sure she didn't escape the house at night and locking down the windows. And you're like, yeah, but what if there's a fire? And you're having all these dilemmas of like, wow, that's like crazy. So it was just like I know what it's like to feel like you're like in this dark place and like to just get out and laugh and let those endorphins get released. And
was this
like
the first
so
comedy
big.
show we went to?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, honestly, like, I grew up watching, like, Jeff Dunham and, like, the blue collar, guys were around when I was younger. But I honestly would not have my love for comedy, though, if it wasn't for you. When you started really doing stand-up Nikki and I went to your show, I think, at Tuned Up in the summer of 22.
That's right.
And then when you
She's
started,
like an encyclopedia of dates.
When you started doing it more and more, and like we started, I started listening to like other comics and stuff that you would do shows with. That's how I kind of branched out with the comedians and everything. I wouldn't have my love for comedy if it wasn't like this deep love for comedy though. If it wasn't
that's
for you,
great.
though.
And you get to hear a lot now because you guys host on every Monday at Rivet, which is a really cool venue in Pottstown that I don't think a lot of people know about. It's like the old New York Plaza building on High Street there. And so in the basement and coming to the deck once it gets warm, right?
Yep, we're going outside.
That's interesting. It's like you do every Monday, 6:30 to like 8:30ish.
6:30 around like 8:30 to 9.
Depending on how many
free.
people
You have drinks available. Bar in the back, a lot of people there, good comics.
And they're redoing the kitchen.
Comics.
Eventually, food will be available.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
so they're like going through like a reconstruction of certain things.
That's cool.
Like remodeling.
But like, if you're around Pottstown area on a Monday night and you're not doing anything, you come by and get some comedy.
Yeah,
you know where to find
all
us.
sorts of people.
We've been getting a pretty decent crowd of people just to watch and enjoy.
I will say that every time I go there, it's nice. It's like
because it's like a lounge vibe, so people are starting to learn to like hang out. And what's cool about Monday nights is the reason why we love them so much. And the reason why I like to keep them free, because it really just feels like people coming and hanging out with us while we're waiting for this lung transplant.
Well, that's just it. That's just it.
I'm sitting usually in the front seat. I'm walking around, giggling, talking to people. It's a big stress release for me, hanging out with everybody.
Do they now, like, when you get notified, is like, do you have like a special beeper? Is it just your phone? Is it like
they'll call? Yeah.
So the way it is they have mine and Chelsea's phone number. They'll call 3 times. If I don't answer. Then they'll call her. If she don't answer, then they'll wait 15 minutes and do it again, right? If at 15 minutes we don't answer, at 30 minutes they'll try again, and then after that they move on and give it to the next person.
Whoa. Okay. So wait a second. Okay. So there's like I guess that makes sense because they're like.
The
times of the essence. So
yeah, when I get the call, I have 4 hours to be there, so they got a short amount of time to be able to.
So okay, yeah. So you have to be able to get.
So you got to give them a number. Like a lot of people get their own. Will get a separate phone just for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the lung phone, the transplant
That's
phone.
That's what I should do because I have just go to my regular phone every day. Because I'm like sometimes.
Yeah, but you're gonna have your phone on you. I would say like that'd be weird because your phone. You're not used to having another phone. I had a pledge in college.
Every time the phone vibrates, I'm like freaking out. I'm like my heart goes.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah,
imagine getting 10 phone calls in one day. It's like vibrating in your pocket.
You're like, is this the one? You're like, fuck, my goddamn car warranty again.
The time we got one call already. On July 31st last year, she was waking me up in the 1 in the morning, which is weird because she never wakes up in the middle of the night. It's usually me.
Yeah.
That's why usually I'm texting you.
Yeah. Right?
But she's shaking me, and I'm like looking up, and she's like, "We gotta go," and I'm like, she's not like, "Hey, babe, wake up!" Like,
No, yeah, she's like,
"We gotta go."
She's like, let's make sure your heart's okay, because while they're in there, they can fix that too.
So I'm out of breath from second one, right? So she already has all the stuff, and we got down there by 3 a.m. and surgery was supposed to be for 5.
And then it was not a match.
No, the helicopter couldn't get in because there was bad weather. And
There was like a bad storm over the summer. So, the bad weather.
It's so weird because like some of the nurses and stuff, and they're just in the field, so they'll be like saying stuff that's like weird. They'll be like, "Oh, it's from a young guy." Like saying it's good. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's try the veal. It's very tender.
When I was going to get, when they were going to list me, and when someone from the transplant team was like, "We gotta get you on before Christmas." I'm like, why? It's like, there's a lot of people home. I'm like, that's weird.
That's weird. That's so funny because it's like they're like harvesting lungs. They're like, listen, we know the high season for lungs.
Dude, me and Connor were shooting our first podcast yesterday, driving around, and I was like, what if we get in an accident and you died and you're a match to mine, but they gave it to somebody else? Like at the car with me.
They're like, he's right here. Just pop it on in.
Pop it in.
That's funny. Yeah, that's like a game of operation. That's crazy. Well, that is. That's a lot of anxiety. So you need this.
Yeah, so anyway, they said they pushed the surgery back to 1. So they come in at 12. They were getting me ready. And then right before, they said the doctor got pulled to a life-saving emergency. So we sat there till 7 o'clock. It was like 15 or 16 hours at that point. And then they took me down. They came down at 7, took me down, wheeled me into the operating room. It was the most intense moment of my life, right? So now I'm partially sedated. And I'm sitting there, and I'm under it like these lights. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm looking around because I know sometimes, like, have you ever had surgery?
I have, small surgery.
Dude, sometimes the anesthesiologist will come up and hit you from behind. So I'm like looking for him, and I look over. He's pulling his phone out of his pocket. I'm like, that's weird timing. Like, why is he on his phone? Like, who is?
He's like checking his fantasy score. He's like, I can't start him.
He's on his DraftKings, like betting. Poly market to see if I'm gonna make it.
For Dan making it.
But then he walked over and handed me the phone, which was even weirder. It was the doctor going to tell me that the lung was not good.
The lung was no good?
No, so I had to wait
They had to
longer.
86 it? Oh, my God, that's terrible.
So it's called a dry run. They say it's common, but it's weird because I was like seconds from going under.
You're like, well, it's got to be better than what I got. Try it out. Let's go. Just pop it in
That's
there.
the thing. I was miserable. At first, they were like, we got to put you in recovery. I was like, for what? Like, you gave me Versed or whatever in my line. You prescribed me Ativan, which is stronger. I'm like, I'm going home. I got to eat. You haven't let me eat anything in 16 hours.
That's crazy.
It's a wild experience.
Yeah,
Wow.
he hadn't eaten. I hadn't slept at this point.
I know.
I'm eating. He's sleeping.
And
it's
are
the
you
opposite.
able to be with him the whole time? Or were
You're like in a It's almost like a regular hospital room, but they have like a separate wing for transplant patients. And like when you're in between like surgery and going down and everything. So we were in the room the entire time.
Now, when he's in surgery, do you get to go to like one of those little observation areas?
No.
I was going to ask if I could record it.
Yeah.
You just had to stay in the room or stay.
Yeah, I was up in the room. Yeah, just waiting. Yeah.
Man.
But what sucks is she thought I was in surgery. So they wheel me back and
then she's like, oh, yeah, that was quick.
Well, they're like, oh, we have to get him into recovery. And I'm like, recovery? He just called me 5 minutes ago to tell me that the surgery wasn't happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, what recovery?
They're like, oh, he slipped in real quick and fixed it. Man, yeah, just to come down from the anesthesia or whatever.
Yeah, but they didn't give me any anesthesia. They only gave me the first shot, which is like, I'm like, you let me leave here on narcotics and prescribe them to me. I'm like, I'm not going to drive out of here.
I was driving anyway, so I'm like, what's the difference?
Dude, that's a hard thing to accept. I was right there. Like, that was my moment, right?
Yeah.
And so it took me a couple hours to get over it, and we were sitting there, and I basically just had to stuff my face with everything that I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I know what you mean.
I think I might have spent like $40-some at Wawa, and it was all mine.
On the way home, yeah.
Right? Like,
like
everything that I got 2 of, just in case I wanted more. I didn't want to be short.
Wow. I mean, what a mindset. That it is. Anybody who's ever been disappointed by anything can now just be like, okay, well, I've never been that disappointed now. It's all in perspective now.
Well, the thing is like I don't want to ask if it was bad because we waited or if the lung was just bad because, like, I don't want to be envious of the lady who got her life saved at noon.
100%.
Like,
Doesn't
so,
matter at that point. What
like,
it's
I didn't even really pay attention or ask to why the lung was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just trying to
'cause-
get out of there. We were both both miserable at this point.
I was
and just trying to
miserable
get out of
until
there.
she said to me, like, I don't know how many hours it was. It was probably in the middle of like my second Snickers. Right? She said to me, you know, they saved your life, right? Like they made a good choice. Like that's why they're getting paid that money to make that decision. And for whatever the reason, that moment, it wasn't the right time.
I've always loved, because I always used to watch those, like, the dramatization shows, like House and ER and Chicago Hope. And, you know, my parents were nurses. You know, like most of my family were in the medical, you know, nursing. And my mom used to run nursing homes and work for hospice care. And so I've, you know, the utmost respect for the people who have to make those decisions, because that's a tough call. And it's like, you know, they have to be able to sleep at night and make sure that you're also going to have the opportunity to sleep at night and wake up the next day. So that's
I would say this though, it seems like there's a lot of comedians that come out of the teaching field, right?
Yes.
I'm surprised there's not more that come out of the medical field.
Well, it's interesting because, you know, there is I do I'm with board teachers.
Right.
So they started an offshoot called Heroes Off Duty. And
That's
it's like there are some there's a nurse on it,
like around
police,
here, though,
fire.
like every comedian.
But you're right.
It seems like there's a lot of teachers around this area, like
Teachers and lawyers.
like the first show you had for us. Like there was like 3 or 4 teachers on the show.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
It is. It's wild to think how many. I'm actually with the teachers this week. I'm in. I fly out to Louisville on Thursday. And then I'm in like Wabash, Indiana, Akron,
crazy.
Ohio, and then Erie, Pennsylvania.
So have you hit anywhere on the West Coast yet?
I have not. So my first foray will be at the end of this month. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be in Alaska and Anchorage.
That's not like
That's like, well, yeah, that's
that's
like,
not
that's
West
West.
Coast.
That is West Coast.
That's West Coast.
That's literally West Coast. It's Northwest Coast.
like,
But I have not performed in California yet. No, I haven't yet. So I have some friends out in LA that, like, if I felt like the time was right and something happened.
well, you just started touring more because you just went full time.
So now, exactly. So if I've
You'll
had
get
a lot
around to
more
it.
opportunities on the East Coast and the Midwest. I haven't gone really much farther than I think Kansas is probably the farthest west. I will be in Minnesota in May with the teacher tour as well. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of potential just with the cheer world. I think I'm going to be doing a lot more events and cheer events, and they do a lot in the West Coast and Vegas as well. So there's
that'll be awesome.
So yes, I think there's going to be a lot more
be really
potential
fun.
for Cheer Dad to pop out and do some stuff, and so I'm excited to see where all that goes for me too, because I think that'll be my opportunity to get to the West Coast. I'm dying to do it because I kept watching. Like I did a show with Stephanie from Full House.
Yeah.
And so like, I've been watching her because she's in LA, and she does a show called Smoke Show, and it's like this kind of stand up but variety style show. It's like a little different. It's stand up, but there's judges and games and other things involved in it. And I was like, oh, that seems so cool. I would love to be able to go out and see that show if I was ever out there. And the guy who booked me on that show was just out in LA and has a bunch of contacts. So one day I'm going to cash in on it and go out there, and it's a different world out there. And because everything's so spread out, there is no walking the mics or like hitting 2 or 3 mics in a night because of the distance between them and it's hard to get up. LA is full of actors and actors, dabbling in comedy, or comedians who want to dabble in acting. So it's like so hard to get stage time from what I understand as well. So yeah, I'm hopeful to get out there sometime. Board teachers just shows out that way, but for the most part, because I'm East Coast, they kind of have kept me more towards on the East Coast, which makes sense. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to get out that way. Hawaii, I'd love to get to Hawaii.
That'd be cool.
Have you ever been to Hawaii?
No.
I was once when I was like a sophomore. We went on like a family vacation. Took like
I saw that Chip
500
does something
hours.
on like a cruise or something, right?
So he did, he did like a podcast with a guy, and then they went out and he ended up headlining a show out that way. Chip's a great dude.
Was it on an island or was it on a cruise?
I think it was just on the island. I think it was
okay.
just
I
in
thought it was on a
Hawaii.
cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, he's great. Yeah, because I was just hanging out with him and his wife at Joel's wedding. Because we were making fun of his wife because his wife didn't realize we were dancing, and Chaperone came on. Big Pony.
Yeah.
Where now it's in my head that because she was calling it Big Party Girl. because she didn't realize the lyrics. So like somebody sang it last night. What's that?
What are the lyrics?
Pink Pony Club.
Oh, okay.
But she was calling it Big Party Girl.
Oh, okay.
And so like Big Party Girl.
Yeah.
And so like anytime, so like they sent me a thing, so I'm in a group chat with them now. And like last night on American Idol, one of the girls sang that song on it. So like I recorded it, but it was me karaoke singing Big Party Girl and sent it to them last night. But I've not gone out the West. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the potential as as you're excited to see the potential of Die Laughing. What's the next Die Laughing show you have coming up? Because I know you have the Ring That
March
Bell.
27th, Ring That Bell. Yep, we have at the Rivet. Yep, Joshua Ryan is our headliner, and we have Christian Shomek and Brody Martin as our features on that show, and some good guest spots on there as well.
That'd be great. Yeah, that's great. So March 27th. It's a Friday, right?
It's a Friday night. Yep. Most of our shows at the Rivet are Friday. We're shooting for Friday nights at the Rivet and Saturdays at Hotel Fiesolan.
That place
Once
was
a month.
Feasol was
right now.
I couldn't
food
believe
was so good.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful place.
I'm still thinking about the shrimp. That shrimp
The
was
shrimp
the
was
size of a
so
lobster tail. I feel like were those lobster tails or shrimp? It was insane.
And thanks for doing that show for us. Like it was.
Yeah, that
was
like
a
we
lot
really
of
were
fun.
trying to impress. We were really
Yeah.
trying to
We
impress
were.
so that like we could, hopefully like expand in there a little more.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was so much fun, and like I wasn't there to see Zach, but I heard Zach did really well.
Zach killed it.
It was cool because it was like a bunch of people taking the class too. So that's what's also
Yes.
kind of sweet. Like, it's Joel was so nice to allow me. Steve Rinaldi and I had this idea about.
Yeah.
Well, Steve will say he didn't, but he was such a big part of it. I think he just never envisioned himself as someone helping at
Was
a
I in the
comedy
first
school.
or second class?
Second?
Yeah.
I think.
I thought so too. Yeah.
So like,
because we started January.
so
of
we
it.
we feel like
You
an
might have been the
emotional.
third, actually.
Second. It was somewhere in the beginning. Well, how many are you up to now? 10.
I think we're on our
Okay.
11th.
Yeah, it was somewhere in
Somewhere
the
there.
beginning, but like we have like a emotional connection to that show,
Yeah.
to that class. So
Absolutely.
that's why we always come to the classes, and we always try to find a way to get.
Well, I think that's awesome.
We always pull people from there, and like what's cool is with Die Laughing, like the local comedians like now have a way somewhere to go because we have, we're in 2 different spots, and you have ways to go from guest, open mic to guest, to feature to headliner because like. Zach proved on Saturday night that we should move him up to feature. Like he was up there. Everybody loved him. Like
Yeah.
And every show that he does for us, he makes material for that show, and it's like a whole new set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's working hard,
Well,
so
like
it's great.
he's one we're
he's
definitely
killing
moving
it.
up. Kieran's one we moved from guest to.
To feature.
Logan Mallon's going to be headlining for us.
Great.
He already featured for us. So there's a way to get
Yeah, no,
Shift
that's
people
great.
around in 2 different locations and see what works best for everybody.
Chelsea
too.
does 80% of the booking.
the
now.
scheduling, yes.
She handles all that because, like, I don't know, I'm too much to deal with. I'll message you too much.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's smart. You got to know yourself. No, that's cool. That was great. So I think dielaughing.org is that the
Yep,
website?
Yes.
that's it.
And then your ticketing, does that go through Eventbrite for a lot of that still?
Yeah,
Or is
so
that-
the links on the website are but Eventbrite's linked to the
Eventbrite.
website.
Yeah.
We always have it linked
Cool.
in there.
That's great. And then you can follow you guys also on Instagram.
Instagram,
Die
Facebook.
Laughing
we're-
0401.
yeah.
So 0401's April Fools. It's cool because part of the story is like 2017 when my lung collapsed. It was on April Fool's Day.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, nobody believed me.
Chelsea's like, I'm a jokester.
Yeah.
Like I haven't
yeah,
always been a
yeah.
comedian, but I've always been a jokester.
Yeah.
But we're at the hospital and nobody believes her.
Yeah, that's funny.
Dan's messing around again.
Dad's messing around. Yep. Nope. He's taking me to karaoke later.
Yeah, we're going to sing "Don't Touch My Wiener." No, that was the name of the song.
My Dingling.
My dingling.
My
By
What did I
Chuck
say?
Berry.
What did I say?
Don't touch my wiener.
Oh, you're thinking of Don't Touch My Willy.
Oh, don't touch my Willie. I sang that
Yes.
song to her too. I
Yes.
know it. Same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. And I was so happy to do even the picnic one. The first one was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
it's just such a good idea. It's just comedies for everybody. Everybody needs to laugh. So it's like
100%.
no matter where you are, whether you're waiting for a lung transplant or your kid's escaping the house and wandering the streets of Spring City at 1:30 in the morning, there's stuff that we all need to, because it's like a form of escapism. Like that's what entertainment is. Like we want to get away from a minute. We want to vacate our normal lives for a second and regroup and recharge so that you can kind of go back. I mean, when I go around talking to teachers at schools, a lot of it's reminding them to find what makes them happy. And for a long time, it was baseball for me. So like the talk I do, I kind of tell my life in like 9 innings of like all these things, because everything that happened to me growing up, as long as I had baseball to play or sport practice to go to, it got my mind off of it. And then during COVID, I had made my way all the way to assistant varsity coach in baseball. I'd been climbing the ladder for 17 years. Finally get to the top. COVID hits the first week of practice, and then baseball got taken away. My adult league, I was playing in an adult league, and all of that got away. So comedy kind of stepped in at the time and kind of took over and was giving me that same kind of like feeling of being at recess, where I'm not thinking about other things. I'm just worried about, my jokes. Or same with baseball. The minute I got to the baseball game, all I was focused on was how I was going to play that day. So I'm not worried about, in the same way you're talking about, not worrying about the evaluation and get your mind off.
Yeah, it does.
So that's
like,
I think
so
we all
like
need
if I have a doctor, I get a lot of anxiety around doctor's appointments. So like every like 2 or 3 months, they have to redo my testing and stuff. So like the week or two before, I'll hit like 3 or 4 shows. Like I usually make like 2 a week.
Yeah.
Like comedy shows, and but like the weeks leading up, I'm like, all right, and that just relieves the stress, because then I'm not thinking about the doctor's appointment.
You just get your mind off.
Dude, because like any doctor's appointment go and they can give me bad news. How many times I've been bad?
Yeah.
So I don't pay attention to the doctor's appointments. She does.
Completely zones out, and then afterwards it's like,
Well, I think it's good now too. Like, there's a lot. If it's like a Zoom meeting and stuff, they have these cool like AI assistants now that can kind of like sit in on the meeting and like decipher the notes. So like, there's apps on your phone now
I never
that you should think about doing.
Yeah,
you can just put the app on, hit thing, and then they'll process everybody saying and break it down.
I don't know.
It's like it's a good note-taking app that'll revolutionize. I'm sure it's going to revolutionize education and kids taking notes in college. And there's always going to be Bart Simpson ways, but you could use it like Lisa too. So it's like, I think that's the important. Whenever I think about technology, I know everybody gets crazy. Like there's half the people that just say it's the downfall of society.
Oh well, AI is like, if you ever like the meme coin community.
AI is the down. Was on my phone.
It's like. It's crazy over there. AI is like huge in the meme coin, but it's the stupidest memes. They'll be like making like, I don't know, like civil rights leaders. They'll be making them WWE wrestlers. I'm like, this is what we're using AI for.
Dude,
I'm like, how is the future AI gonna know what was real and what wasn't?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the AI now, it's like you almost need to be, if you're like over a certain age, you almost need a license to be on social media, because like because you can't tell, like, the game systems now are so. Grandpa walks in the room while you're playing NBA 2K, and you might be able to convince him that LeBron's playing right now. So like, it looks so real. That it's so hard, and then when it plays with your emotions and your faculties aren't as sharp, because as we get older, all those neural pathways, if we have all these neural pathways, they close up after a while, and only a few of the major roads are open, and so it's like, your brain's just not as sharp, so it's like you're susceptible to. That's why scammers are all the rage with older folks and stuff like that, because they prey on your fears, and you just kind of go after it. So it's like so hard. I see that with my mom. I had to like train her when she gets an email to like drop down where it says the name, so I actually see what the email says, address, because it's not going to match whatever the company is, and or there's like, you could tell if the logo's a little off, but it's just so hard to teach them how to CSI all of that, because in the moment they're seeing relief from something.
Yeah.
It's like somebody opened a pathway. Somebody's like convincing you, like, oh yeah, there's a new lung right down this road. And then they get you down there and like, no, we just want to tell you about this timeshare. And you're like, wait, what? Like, and then next thing you know, they already have your identification. They've created 3 credit cards in your name. And, next time you go to Wawa on the way home from that recovery, your card's going to get declined because they stole your information. It's like, it's so, what happened to just stealing a woman's purse on the street? You know what I'm saying? Like, just let me see you. Yeah, let me see you in your ski mask. And just yank it out of grandma's fingers, all right? Let's just be a man, okay? Like, but yeah, it's a new age, it's a new crazy, but it's exciting too. So it'll be interesting to see. I know there's a lot of, and I think the companies, I know there was some talk about, because everybody thinks ChatGPT is like the major one, but there's others, like Claude's been getting. There's one called Claude AI.
And there's the one there's Grok, right?
Grok, yeah. Claude and Perplexity. There's so many of them, because it's just like, it's like fast food restaurants, like Wendy's, Arby's, Carl Jr. And it's just like, I think Claude's been getting a lot of press because it was the one that Anthropic, or whatever the company is the one that the Pentagon was using.
Yeah.
And so they're like a lot of, but they weren't willing to allow their technology to be used in like making decisions on like if bullets would get fired, or they wanted humans to still be in charge. Like, so there were certain things that I think from what I understood was there was some issues in how the technology is being used, and there's a lot of safeguards.
There is some good things AI is being used for. Like there's this doctor at Penn, David Faugenbaugh. He uses it to find different ways to repurpose medicines for better treatment for like rare diseases.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's it. I mean, so it can be a really impressive sounding board. So, like, if you can't get the greatest minds in the world to sit in a room with you and banter back, it's almost like that. It's like watching the episode of House when they're trying to figure out what's wrong and they're all coming up with these ideas, but you have like your own, you have your own sounding board there to kind of say, well, hey, here's what I'm thinking, bounce back some ideas. So, I think it can be really good. But yeah, again, I mean, you don't know who's making, the person making it and setting the parameters also has to have integrity and ethics, because you could really, I know there were some issues where people were using ChatGPT as a therapist.
Oh my God.
And then some people were getting recommended to kill themselves.
Yeah, I've heard about that. That's wild.
Because it's one of those things where it's like you're putting a lot of trust in something that you don't
I had
know
this
where it
lady,
came from.
when I was whining on Facebook one day, I had this lady hit me up and try to tell me what state they allowed assisted suicide. I said, look, lady, that's not what I'm talking about. I said,
I don't need.
I don't know. I said, maybe
God.
you just need to see a therapist. I said, I'm not there.
Well, we have really big, actually scammers like on Facebook, like because our Die Laughing is as a public profile and you can just follow us, but there's people on there like selling tickets for like our open mics, and I'm like, they're free. There's no tickets, but
that's the biggest issue a lot of performers are having now. Like, I'll see a lot of big performers get on social media and be like, hey, you have to only buy tickets from the venue.
From this venue, yeah.
And like people think it's just somebody being nice, like, oh, I can't make it, so here's these 2 tickets, but like, yeah, that's a big scam right now with venues too, and getting fake tickets, and that'd be the worst too. I mean, you think not getting along? Imagine you think you have tickets to the Flyers and you can't get in because they have sold you fake tickets. I mean, come on! I'd order 3 of everything at Wawa on the ride home. but that is sort of the big thing now. The scamming. It's like it is. It's so intense. But you're just trying to do good things, and you like why throw the shade at a nonprofit or whatever. We're just trying to do good things. But I think when people get put in a situation, I was watching Captain Phillips. Did you ever watch the movie?
Oh yeah.
So I would love Tom Hanks, especially when he does those like biopic
that was a
movies.
really good movie.
But like that's a perfect example of like.
Is that the one with the Somali pirates?
The Somalian pirates.
Yeah.
And you kind of like see the life that they're living, and like there is no choice for them. Like it's either them, us or them. And when people are put in this us or them scenario, it's like, oh, well, of course you're going to choose yourselves. Like, of course you're going to, like, that's the only way to make any money for you, or, because he says something in the line where he's like, yeah, we got a ship for like $6 million last time. And he's like, and why are you here then?
Yeah.
And like you tell because he had to give it all to his boss and he got like nothing for it. Now he's got to go do another, so it's like, it's so sad when you think about the situation people were put in. Like when I think about the people who are doing the scamming, like the ones that they've hired to be the ones to make the calls and do those things, man, it's so sad because those people are being manipulated by someone else. There's someone even darker behind that created the system. And these people are just a product of, I need to feed my family, and this is the only way somebody offered me to do that. I think about all the weird jobs people have, like the people on YouTube that have to watch all the videos to make sure that people aren't like upheading beheadings. And so like somebody's job was, and I never
even thought about that.
So like now AI can take over and do a lot of that, but like before, it was humans watching all this footage and determining if something was not good or bad. That's a wild job to have. Like you really get some scarring there. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
very depressing.
It is.
It's
100%.
Like,
so it's crazy. So we all need laughter. I think we all need that recess from whatever. Everybody's got something that's creating stress in their life. Even the people who convince you on Facebook they're living their best life 24/7. They're not.
No.
There's these moments, and I think I like to channel a lot of that into my own stuff, like talking about my daughter and talking about some of the challenges with her, but also, in a fun way. Like so yesterday, oh my God, that's so funny. So yesterday, Amanda warns me the girls get out of school early for the tornado warning, and Amanda's like, oh my goodness, Alicia had a science project she was working on, which was tornadoes and tornado safety.
So funny.
And so, like, now all of a sudden
Full
she was
days.
activated like a sleeper cell.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, "This is it. We're getting sent home." Like, so she came home, and Amanda's like, she's perseverating on like
fair
Her,
warning.
it was real.
yeah, it was like, "This is it. Do we have generators?
Of all
Where are the
days.
batteries?" I'm like, oh my God, she was activated. Like, it's like I'm now living in a FEMA training video.
That
you
being
know?
said, we lost power, and I'm on oxygen.
Well, she would. Oh my God, yeah, she would be so concerned about you. She'd be like-
Yeah.
but like that. So So then we didn't lose power. It flickered for a while, and she got very
Yeah.
nervous.
Ours never goes out, and this is the one time it goes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now yours is battery. I would imagine you have a battery backup, right?
Well, I have this machine, this purse I brought with me.
The
Yeah.
lunchbox.
So I
some of our
have
friends
faith, and it will
call
last
it.
about 3.5 hours. So
Oh, that's
about-
it?
No, so once it,
Depending
once
on the setting. Yeah.
yeah,
it's
depending
on.
if the heavier
yeah.
I breathe, the more it works, the quicker it goes.
That's right. That makes sense. Yeah. Put the gas.
Yeah.
I push the gas pedal down on my Prius, and
Yeah.
that miles per gallon goes down real fast. So then you go
then
to
I
try
had
to
to-
go to sleep last night.
Yeah, we had to leave and go to our parents.
Yeah.
Well, he's on a wall machine at home, so he's plugged in at home, and then
But you'd have had
But-
to have a generator.
Yeah,
For that to work.
for that to work. But the power went. It flickered a little bit, but then I realized at 12:30 that it wasn't coming back on. So I put him on the portable machine then, and he that survived at least until like
I was sleeping. She
early
was literally like in the
morning,
middle
yeah.
of the night, like putting it on me. I'm like, what? She's like, the power's out.
The power. Yeah. She's like,
And then I got up and called my mom like at 6 this morning, and I was like, we need to come over for a little bit,
it's-
plug in for a little bit.
Well, sometimes
Yeah.
it's weird. Like if
you're like a Tesla. You're like a human Tesla.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Dan's running low. We gotta
Need
come plug him in.
recharge.
So listen,
Like at a Wawa.
well, there was years where I was in the hospital a lot, like a lot of admissions, and it's weird because the times where I know that sometimes I go in the hospital and it's just a little illness. Sometimes I go in the hospital and it's a progression of the disease.
Yeah.
Right. So things have gotten worse. And what was I talking about?
Yeah.
Last night.
What?
Last night.
But just the having to deal with the power and
power
move
being
around
out,
and
yeah.
adjust. But that,
Yeah.
like that's that's it because even like she came home late yesterday. She's like, "Where are the batteries? Do we have this?" She slept with the flashlight with her. Like she was very. But you gotta be
At
prepared.
least
and
someones ready. Would you be ready?
I was so
Wait.
grateful that she was getting us ready.
The thing about the tornado, if it happens, I don't really. There's been one, and it was like 1996 in Limerick, right?
yeah.
yeah,
There
you
hasn't-
never know.
There was-
I never know.
I was so nervous my trampoline because we have this trampoline in the back. I was like, "Oh no, is this trampoline just going to destroy my neighbors' houses or something?"
Oh,
That
yeah,
would be
'cause
my
that-
biggest fear. Is
turn
like,
it upside down?
Yeah.
no, I didn't do anything.
You're supposed to turn it upside down,
Oh,
so the wind can't get under it.
but how would I turn it upside down? I'm one man. What am I, the Hulk?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I have to get
I'm
this-
not,
They're big,
I'm
yeah,
not going
we
to give
have
you.
come over?
I'm definitely not helping you.
Yeah. We
I'm
have
like,
one.
It's
Yeah,
not
so
me.
now what do they recommend for you, like with like exercise and stuff like that?
It's
So I'm not supposed
really
to like,
supposed to.
yeah. I did 3 months of pulmonary rehab, but
Because it's
insurance
exercise,
will
but
only
you're
cover
monitored.
36 sessions. I was supposed to have we thought the transplant was going to be sooner.
Yeah,
So I try to walk as much
so that's
as I
only
can.
like 3 a month.
Well, I try to get like I used to be able to do 8 to 10,000 steps. Now I'm down to 6 to 8. So I had to go from 2 liters of oxygen to 4 liters of oxygen last year, and like if my oxygen dips, I really shouldn't be exercising without being monitored
Yeah,
because if I shouldn't be exercising, I'm having a respiratory failure.
yeah, that's true. So
So
that's wild.
and this machine doesn't work well. So this machine is a pulse. They have the save energy.
Yeah.
The unit at home is a continuous stream.
Okay.
So a setting 4 here is not the same as there.
Now, do you have to have like air tanks, like tanks of air,
No,
or is it just
so-
pulling the air from the room or
So
whatever?
some people have tanks, but since I have this machine that I have a concentrator that plugs into the wall.
Yeah.
So if I would need a higher concentration, like a setting 6, I would have to use tanks because this doesn't go that high.
Okay.
So there's gonna.
but
so
the wall
my-
unit you have is
that
just
goes up higher. Yeah.
so it's like almost like a sleep.
But if
Like I
I
have
get-
sleep apnea, so I have a CPAP machine, but you're like it's
So
like
if I
that
get up
same
to
air
a-
just pumping air in you.
If I get up to a setting 6 on this purse thing that I carry around, I won't be able to leave the house.
Yeah.
So like, if this disease gets worse, I won't be able to go to comedy shows.
Oh.
I won't be able to walk.
Well, you'd have to bring the tank with you.
yeah, I guess I can bring
Yeah.
the tanks. Yeah.
I've seen people like I've
Yeah.
seen at events that are
tanks.
wheeling the
Yeah. I've done
tank with you. You know, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
it. Yeah. I'm glad I'm glad I have this bag. It's more of some of the people make fun of me about it being a purse, but
Fuck him.
Our buddy Matt calls it the lunchbox.
Dude, I was like-
he's always like, he's
Yeah,
talking
Matt
about the
Lenz
lunch.
calls it a
The
lunchbox.
The lunchbox, yep.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Hey man, lunch, you gotta eat.
I was walking into a Sixers
It's
game.
actually hiding today.
I was walking into a Sixers game. The guy's like, "Hey, watch that bag." I'm like, he's like, brought it over, made me show it to him. I'm like,
Yeah, anytime walking into sporting events.
Yeah,
I thought I was faking this to get drugs in.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good
Like
gimmick.
sneaking in.
Yeah, the
I'm like, yeah, I got a kilo in the bottom of that oxygen tank.
That's funny. Yeah, just or it'd be funny if it was like the laughing gas.
Someone was
Dan
like,
doesn't need that.
someone asked me, was like, "Can you still suck in helium?" I was like, "I don't know, I haven't tried."
Don't do that.
It's like, does that work?
That's funny. Yeah, no, well, it's funny because sometimes I'll hear it at the show, like 'cause it like kicks on or it does the pulse. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if it's on a setting 3 or 4, it'll be louder, and you'll hear like this thing. And I went and I thought maybe it
humming
was
of
broken
it.
because they had to switch me on machines like models.
Yeah.
Because the one got discontinued, so they gave me this one. This one, so all of a sudden it's so loud.
Yeah.
When it kicks on, it sounds like a whole engine, the car engine started. Like, so if I sit up front, I'll see people posting their sets, and I'll hear my machine in their sets.
Yeah, like especially up in mic, you really hear it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, it's like that generator that kicks on in the speakeasy at Joel's.
Oh yeah.
It's just this, so off to the side. It always kicks on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually helping with the mic tonight. I'm going to host the first part of the mic over there tonight.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, and then one of the kids, Daniel John from my class.
Yeah.
He's
He's on our 27 show.
Yeah, he's gonna take the rest of the show over.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, so I like that. I like seeing all of the people that are taking the class that stick with it or trying to, because a lot of times it's just people that do like bucket lists, like, hey, wouldn't it be fun if? And then
Well, you
there's
get
some people that
you
are
get
doing
a
it.
big diverse group of people because
Yes.
people are doing it for different reasons.
This one's going to be interesting. I'm really excited about this current class because it's the most. There's more people that have actually been doing either open mic comedy or have been done some couple showcases. So they've already coming with, I would say 75% of the class is already coming with some experience.
Well, that's what I was going to
It's
ask
always
you.
been the
So you
opposite.
have the class, and then you have the new material stuff, but like you don't have like a second level class for people.
So,
that
Well,
want
I
to
well,
did
do it
that
again?
once.
So I do one-day workshops where I do I have a hosting one coming up April 12th. I have a social media one
I
coming up
told her
April
to do
18th.
your social media one.
I should because Alex Perlman's
or
also
the
gonna be.
hosting one too. I was
Yeah,
thinking
so
about
the
doing
Oh,
it.
yeah
the
they're
hosting
the
one, I
ones
think, yeah,
the
that's
ones
good.
the Sunday and then the ones the following Saturday. Because Alex Perlman, if you know Pearlmania,
Is that a red-haired guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
him before Punchline before.
3 million.
Oh, he was
TikTok
on your
followers.
Steve with the show with Steve at Punchline
Yep.
that one time.
Exactly.
Yep.
So he and I are going to run it, and then I'm going to be on a show with him and another big media influencer named Tell Williams. We're doing a show that afternoon, so we're doing like 1 to 3 social media workshop.
Okay.
4:00 comedy.
What day
show.
is that on?
April 18th, Saturday.
Oh, that's the Deborah Hotel Feastal show.
Yeah.
What time's the class?
1 to 3.
Oh, okay.
We have time for that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and we're doing that. So that's fun. So yeah, I'm doing those. I do writing workshops, usually like the first Sunday of a month, and then I'm gonna put out. Here's what I decided I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put out a form to everybody who's taken the class already,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be almost like an application, like, hey, an interest form? Would you be interested in taking a level 2? But the problem is, I feel like I can only have so many people on it, and there's a couple challenges with it. Like, I'd almost have to like pick the ones who I think would be like either
Who
the
would
ones who would get
like,
the most
benefit out
would
of
get
it.
the most
Yeah.
out of it. And I hate having to make that decision and not have it be open to everybody. And then the
Couldn't
other,
you just do it the first 12 to sign up?
well, I could, but then the problem is that's just the first 12 people. Like that might not be the people
serious
who,
people.
yeah,
Yeah,
that might
people
not
that
be the
really
people with the
serious.
best opportunity to do something with it. So it's like I kind of want to, if I'm gonna do it, I guess I should gauge and see the interest first. So that's
Yeah.
the other piece. And the other one is like you can retake the first class. Like the first class
Yeah,
isn't like
Kieran
leveled.
did it twice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've had
he's done
people
it
take
a
2 or
couple
3
times.
times because like it's customized to you. After week 1, it's really customized to whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like at that point, it's like you can just keep taking and build new material. But
Do you remember how many times I bugged you before I actually signed up?
oh wow,
It was like for like 3 weeks.
yeah. But then you signed
Because
up.
I was worried about
Oh, yeah,
like
you're all the things. So what if I
thought I was
take
gonna get the
edibles
transplant
and,
right
like,
away. Yeah, I've been hitting him like one in the morning. I said, I don't know.
Yeah. No, well, we're willing to work it out. Like,
Yeah.
because we've had people start and then had to push and take the next one. And
Well, that's what you had said. You'd said, look, why don't you start if you have to stop because
then
the
just do the
transplant, you
next
just do
one.
the
Yeah,
next
we've
one.
had that happen where, like, that happened with Dan. He signed up for the one and then he ended up waiting and taking this one. So it was just, it was one of those things that, we're willing to work with you and all that. Obviously, because we have a fine number of spots. We want to always, because if we get to that and we think we sold out, well, then we're not looking for anybody more. So if you then all of a sudden decide, we're like, well, no, we're not going to give you your money back, but we'll let you do another thing like that because we could have sold another spot at that point. Yeah. But the other thing with the advanced classes that's a little bit of a challenge too is the like more of those advanced people have been out doing stuff and like their family's already gone out and supported them. So it's hard for me to pitch it to Joel because then it's like, oh, well, he's got to make something out of it. So we got to guarantee that like people will come to the grad show. And with that, sometimes it's harder for those people to get people to come out because they've already come out for a lot of their shows before. So that's the other challenge is it's not as like, there's other pieces to it, but I definitely want to run another advanced one, but I'm definitely going to keep doing the 1-day workshops because I think that's like an easier thing. Like the writing, hosting, social media, turning stories into stand-up is another one. So, which is great because it's just fun. It's fun to kind of work with people on a 1-day like intensive like 4.
How many people are in the 1-day workshop?
So I cap it. Like if it was the writing one, I capped the writing one at 10 and I just ran 2 sessions because it ended up filling both sessions.
10 in both?
10, yeah. Okay. I kept it at 10 for each session. For the hosting one, I think I'm going to cap it at like 14 because then people like there has to be times where you're going up and practicing. And so that takes time. If 14 people go up for, if they went up for 5 minutes and then
Chelsea's
got feedback,
been trying to refine when she does.
There's 2 hours. There's 2 hours right there. 15 people go up for 5 minutes. There's well over an hour. Yeah. So it just in them going up, never mind giving them feedback and doing some other activity. So, if I'm going to do a 4-hour workshop, then I got to cap it at like 15 on, for that. Social media one, we're doing more because it's more of like a seminar style. So it's not something where each person has to go and do something. So what are you doing on the
social media side of it? What do you learn in that class?
So basically we're going to talk about the major platforms like the Meta, which is Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And sort of like, how we use them, what we've noticed about each platform, and then the difference in each one. Like you have posts, you have stories, you have reels. So I think we're going to do like a little bit of our own experience with them, and what each of them is. And then the second half of it is going to be questions from you guys so that it's tailored to things you want to know about. So the first part will be us sharing our own experience with how we use them and how we come up with the content.
But like you teach like how to get into like your algorithm, like.
Well, we'll talk about what the algorithm is. We'll talk about, what you view. If you swipe away, if you hold for a little bit, all of that factors into what your algorithm's going to feed you. So like right now, my algorithm's riddled with cheer stuff. You know what I mean? It's like tons of cheer stuff. But like, and then again, you can.
You want to hear something weird about the algorithm?
What's that?
So back when I had a bowel resection surgery, I had diverticulitis.
Yeah.
And like the week of the surgery, Chelsea kept getting advertisements for rings for widows.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't even the lung thing. I'm like, I'm getting a second asshole. I'm getting a second asshole. I'm not dying.
She's like, well, 2 assholes is too much. I'm out.
Dude, when I had the colostomy bag, my friends used to make fun of me like, Keota, who can say they got a friend that has 1 lung and 2 assholes?
That's funny. That's tough. But I think the algorithm in that case, like when we were going on a cruise, my wife was watching all those like North Sea videos and cruise disasters. Like it's funny how things change, or the minute you start looking at it, like it's all paying attention.
Do you ever doom scroll? Do you ever doom scroll?
I doom scroll every day. I'm only doing this right now so that I don't doom
scroll.
There
was this night last week where all I did was, for some reason, everything on my Instagram reel was these huge ships in the middle of these deep oceans, at like 3 a.m. and then storm.
Yes.
And I just kept watching it, and then I was like, I want to see it bigger, so I went on my iPad, and I was like,
I want an IMAX.
I turned it as high as the loud as I could on my headset so I could listen to it. I was like getting into it, and then I realized I got to calm down, just get my heart going.
Right, it's great. It's so funny to get it because it gets addictive, and they give you what you want. Like, I remember back in the day, you just had to wait for the show to come on once a week, and now you're like, oh, I can do literally whatever I want. Like, especially TikTok with like people following like body cam footage, or right now it's like big First Amendment auditor people. You know, these people
I was
like
getting
test
that
out like. So I'll go down those holes of watching some of those videos, or like confessions, like the police body cam video of a.
Oh yeah.
I get. They wrote me in, they wrote me in on some of that stuff, because I want to hear human interest stories. I want to hear, I'm very fascinated with prison for some reason. Locked up, 60 days in. I'm like, I want to watch.
Chelsea likes murder
prisons.
stuff. She likes to.
We're big murder people.
Yeah.
Murder documentaries.
So and I keep forgetting, like, I can't watch the stuff when like my daughters are around. So I had like Katie, who's like 9, watching World's Toughest Prisons with me. And I was like, well, it's a documentary. And she's like, well, what's brainwashing? I'm like, oh. I'm like, well, it's when somebody convinces you like something that you really don't. Oh, she's like, you mean like when mom makes dinner? I was like, you shut your mouth, or we're both going to be in the hole for a week. It's like, but like that, it's just this concept of like, oh yeah, I got to be careful. We can't, because then I can't have like my daughters and like Alicia and what she watches on YouTube. And I kind of joke about that and with her, but like it is because she'll bypass and go to guest accounts.
She is my favorite stories. Like every story's out about her. They're just
so
hilarious.
It's so wild, and she's so sweet and adorable. But she's into these, and she'll get like, and she'll just push the big red button now. She's like, you are a stinky daddy, and she's like, you're pathetic. She told me I was pathetic yesterday. And I was like, it's just so funny because she's just scripting stuff from like these videos she's watching. I'm like, I can't control everything she's gonna watch, but like I have to like put up a fight with her and be like, hey, you can't say this, you can't. Can't say fire in a theater. You can't yell bomb on a plane, sweetheart. Like, and her brain goes to like, oh, that's the thing that's gonna get me out of this situation right now. So I'm gonna do that. So I have a feeling we're in store for more as it goes on.
Looking forward to those stories.
A part of me is, but the reality is, I get very scared because I'm like, please don't do anything you can't take back.
Right? Yeah.
And it's like you hope everybody knows what they're dealing with, and because when it's an invisible thing like that, if you don't know her well enough, I could see people not understanding or seeing it, but. Yeah, she is a sweetheart.
In 2019, I started losing my strength. And like my disease one back then, you couldn't tell by looking at me that I had anything wrong with me, other than I was a little bit slower and stuff.
He wasn't
on. We always do that.
I'm thinking, man, everybody just thinks I'm fat.
Yeah.
I mean, which is part of the problem, but.
Well, tell everybody a little. So I know we plugged it a little bit, but give them one more time where they can go find you and all of that.
All right, so they can check us out at dielaughing.org, or our Instagram is dielaughing0401. We are a nonprofit comedy production company that raises money for the Penn Medicine lung transplant program.
Love it. And then every Monday, if you guys are free, come to the Rivet in Pottstown for the open mic.
Sign-ups are at 6:30.
Show starts at 7. They got beverages and soon-to-be food and outdoor patio. So
yeah, once it gets warmer, we'll be outside, and we'll be able to draw people over. So we want to get more people watching comedy in the area. The more people watching comedy, the better we all do.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's really good. Well, I can't thank you both enough for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us. That was a lot of fun.
And thanks for doing our show.
Yeah, thanks.
Heck yeah, absolutely.
Both of them.
Make sure you check them out. All right, dielaughing.org, dielaughing0401 on Instagram, and we'll see you next week.